Could I be put into a breakout room with my client, Mr. Reyes?
Your Honor, you should be on YouTube now.
Yeah.
I will put you in a breakout room.
Thank you, Pat.
Okay, this is cause 650-961, State of Texas versus Francisco Tovar, represented by Mr. Leslie Herbst. This is a motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. The first document I'm looking at on this case is entitled Defendant's Consent to Motion to Revoke Hearing by Video Conference, that purports to have both Mr. Tovar's and Mr. Herbst's signatures on it. In fact, Mr. Tovar, is this your signature on this document, sir? And your microphone is turned off, I think, Mr. Tovar.
Oh, shoot.
We can't see you, but we can hear you.
Okay.
So is this your signature on this document, sir? Mr. Tovar, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
Is this your signature on this document entitled Defendant's Consent to Motion to Revoke Hearing by Video Conference?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. And Mr. Herbst, as attorney for Mr. Tovar, is this also your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. The next document I have on this case is entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, which is marked, quote, is an adjudication of guilt following a deferred adjudication, and the defendant has a limited right of appeal, unquote. Is this your signature on this document also, Mr. Tovar?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And Mr. Herbst, as attorney for Mr. Tovar, is this also your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Herbst, my understanding is this is going to be an uncontested motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Is that correct?
We've come to an understanding.
So is that correct or is that not correct?
Well,
In other words, you think you have an agreement with the state? Is that what you're telling me?
yes, Your Honor.
All right. You understand that any agreement you might enter into with the state is I'm not bound by in these type of hearings.
Yes, Your Honor. We understand that.
I'm certainly happy to hear recommendations from both sides. All right. So that being said, is this going to be an uncontested motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Tovar, in cause 650-961 on the motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision, how do you plead, sir?
Guilty.
True.
Need to be true or not true, sir?
True.
Thank you, sir. And Ms. Gross, would you please advise the court and the parties of the status of Mr. Tovar's probation? I remind you, you're still under oath.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Tovar has been reporting as directed. We last saw him on April 26, 2022. His case is paid in full. He has completed all 24 hours of his community service as well as his DWI education and victim impact panel and the CATSNP program. He has had 1 positive drug test for alcohol, 8 negative drug tests. He's currently on the Smart Start mobile device where he's testing 6 times per day. And he has had 4 skip tests since he's been on the device. And he has had a high BRAC of 0.039. His criminal history includes arrests for driving while license suspended, DWI, as well as this instant offense. His officer is recommending that he be continued on the Smart Start mobile at 6 times per day for an additional 2 months.
Is this Mr. Tovar's? Okay, this is his first DWI, correct?
I believe it's his first DWI. This is his second violation report, MTR, and his second MTR hearing.
When was the first MTR hearing?
Let me get that exact date for you, Judge.
Is it possible it was during the plague and we didn't actually have an MTR? We did something else administratively?
No, sir. It was actually heard, and that date was, my computer's just a little bit slow here. That actual MTR hearing was on February 15th of 2022.
And do I have a copy of that original MTR in this packet somewhere?
I emailed it to you. If you don't have it, I can send it to you real quick.
Let me see. I did not receive it, but basically I just want to know, was there an allegation of consumption of alcohol back on the first MTR, I guess is my ultimate question.
There was a high brack at 10:08 PM of 041. But it did clear out to 0 right after that. And also alleged were 4 skip tests during the period of August 16th to September 16th, and 2 skip tests from July 16th to August 16th.
Okay, I got it. Mr. Herbst, what are you requesting, sir?
We're requesting that he be, maintained on probation, deferred adjudication. And that the,
All right, so Susan, am I correct in saying my biggest issue with Mr. Tovar at this point is that we had a prior MTR and we had at least 1 consumption of alcohol on that, and we have a second MTR and we have 1 consumption of alcohol on that, and those are really our main issues, is that correct?
Yes, sir. And that alcohol, I believe, was determined via a drug test.
Okay, I got it. State recommendation?
They recommend scram.
You recommend what, I'm sorry?
Scram, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Tovar, on cause 650-961, the court accepts your plea of true. I grant the state's motion to revoke your deferred adjudication probation. I adjudicate you guilty of the offense of driving while intoxicated, first offense. I sentence you to 6 months in the Bexar County Jail, probated for 6 months, a $500 fine plus court costs, 48 hours community service, DWI education, DWI victim impact panel, Community Alliance for Traffic Safety Intervention Program. Susan, do you think we need intensive outpatient at this point, or do you think this is an isolated incident many months apart and he can get by with just the catch-up he's already done?
Judge, I think at this point, since it, wasn't a high level or anything like that, just let it go. But if it happens again, if there's any alcohol determined in a breathalyzer or urine, then I think we would definitely need to take some action and reconsider some additional classes or revocation.
And is he currently on a Smart Start mobile at 6 blows a day?
Yes, he's doing 6 blows on Smart Start at this time.
How long has he been on a Smart Start mobile at 6 blows a day?
He was put on 6 blows a day, February 22nd.
Mr. Herbst and Mr. Tovar, do you want to stay on a Smart? Here's the big deal of the day. If he wants to stay on the Smart Start mobile at 6 blows a day, which means he's not going to get a whole lot of sleep, which I'm sure Mr. Tovar is very familiar with at this point. If he shows us a clean 30-day period of time without missing any blows and no high bracks for alcohol, I'll crank him back down to 4 blows a day. Or he can volunteer for a scram bracelet. The downside of that is it costs $350 a month instead of $95 a month or whatever the Smart Start costs. Do y'all want to stay with Smart Start or you want to switch to scram?
I'd like to stay with Smart Start, Your Honor.
All right, fair enough. Mr. Tovar, if you are successful in giving us 1 30-day period of time without any high bracks for alcohol on your Smart Start mobile device at 6 blows a day and not missing any blows for a 30-day period of time, I'm going to crank you back down to 4, but I will not know you've done that. You got to let your attorney know. He's got to let me know. Then I confirm with probation that you've done it, okay?
Yes, sir.
I'm also going to put you on weekly UAs. Once again, show me 4 clean weekly UAs in a row, and I'll put you back on monthly UAs. But once again, if you do that, I won't know you've done it. So you got to let me know, or let your attorney know. He'll let me know, and I'll confirm that with probation, okay?
Yes, sir.
My guess is we've accidentally punished you because I probably told you and your attorney that the first time, and nobody followed my guidance, and you've been stuck with this dang machine for 6 blows a day instead of 4 blows a day for many months. So I apologize it's that way, but I just can't do it all. I mean, you guys got to help me. So from this point forward, you understand again, just show me 30 clean days of 6 blows a day with no high bracks for alcohol and no missed blows, and I'll crank you back down, but you got to let your lawyer know, he's got to let me know, and I got to let probation know. Same thing with the UAs. Okay, sir?
Yes, sir.
He gets credit for anything he's already done, any money's already paid, any programs completed. We're going to recall all pretrial services, bond conditions, and warrants. What else do we need to do, Sue?
I just need to give him some instructions. Mr. Tovar.
Go ahead.
you're going to be starting all over. So you have to go through orientation again and sign all new paperwork, et cetera, okay? So I'm going to let Mr. Ovalle know that you are continued today. You're going to be staying on Smart Start at 6 times per day, and that he needs to add you on the weekly UA call-in line, okay? So
Yes,
this
ma'am.
afternoon, you need to call him, touch base with him, and get your instructions and the phone number to call for that, okay? The probation department will be in touch with you between now and early next week. You will have to go to the main building or do a Zoom orientation. They will know which one, okay? They'll notify you whether you have to go in person or you're gonna do it on Zoom. If you do not hear from the probation department by next Wednesday morning when you wake up, you need to call Mr. Ovalle and the intake department at 210-335-7446. Let them know that you were put back on regular probation from deferred and that you need to do an orientation, okay?
Okay.
All right, judge is giving you credit for everything that you've already done. So basically right now, you just need to maintain your Smart Start mobile device and make sure that you follow those rules. Any questions?
Ms. Gross, what kind of documentation does Mr. Tovar have to give me that I forward to the court?
Ms. Benavides is going to be emailing you an application for probation as well as a data sheet. You need to fill both of those out immediately and send those back to her so that they can go to the clerk. And when the clerk gets the information from the judge, they can send it over to probation.
So I will be doing that right now during the time we're doing this. So we'll go to you, Mr. Herbst, and then to Mr. Tovar, okay?
Very good. Thank you, Pat.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Mr. Good, who is talking finally to the prisoner. It
Is
took
his last name Good, like G-O-O-D?
Forrest Good.
Okay.
And we had an issue, the inmate took forever to finally get there. So they're just talking, and Miss Petrovich is signing the paperwork, I believe, but I think she's in the middle of something in the 144th. But it is working. Ms. Lopez, as you can
That's
see,
fine.